Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Creator Winter Village Fire Station for 2018. It includes a decent-sized building, which is detailed on the inside, a very classic-styled fire ladder truck, a selection of minifigures of course, and a handful of fairly cheery and holiday-themed side builds. The fire station itself, I would say, is designed with all of the care of a creator expert modular building, with different techniques used to bring in some unique textures wherever possible, and different window treatments and window edge treatments. You've got the texturing under the eaves of the roof segments, the sideways mounted decorative banister or fence pieces on the tower over on the right. They added some foliage that's supposed to represent some holly bows that have been placed up in different parts of it, and of course there is snow all over this, so you see snow that is just hanging off all of the ledges. They even have a little snowman that has been built here on the side. It feels very complete from the outside. It feels very, very displayable, yet it is designed to accommodate minifigures properly. This is a nicely designed set of double doors, that you actually build up. Those open up to allow you to create a little bit of garage space, although the depth of the garage is not sufficient to hold the included ladder truck. It won't fit in there all the way. It won't be covered up, as you'll see as I get around to the back. The largest dimensions, including the snow base portion down here, if I measured correctly, is 28 studs by 16, compared to the size of, for example, a modular building that is always built on a 32 by 32 base plate, with the exception of Assembly Square, which was just a special deal. But around every angle I see good detailing, and nothing feels lacking, nothing feels missing. Everywhere you want to be able to place a minifigure, you can. There's plenty of space to put figures on the roof as well if you want to just have them giving a little celebration. There's a bell up there, and this is a light brick that is fairly conspicuous, but I don't know, even though it's not covered up in any way, it really doesn't bug me there. If anything, it might just add a little extra detail, and that's simply facing down into the main upper space. So when you turn that on, it just illuminates the upper area. Of course, it works best when you have no light in the room, for the nighttime, but it does light up the entire upper floor, basically, the entire interior space of that. And speaking of interior space, well, like I said, it is well detailed on the inside. Let me take off the roof so you can get some light in there. There we go. See, the kitchen space is built up with a maximum amount of detail squeezed into the smallest possible space. That's a 2x5 area back in the corner that includes a sink, an oven, a stove, a small pantry, a little bit of open counter space, and a coffee maker. Just really good use of that space. There's a slightly built up older style telephone over here, which looks pretty good. You have some space of floor there where you can pose figures. You've got enough room to open up the door and people can walk in. So you can pose them. You can actually move them around. You can move them around the back of either of the chairs here, and those chairs can be rotated around to let you see the expressions on the figures' faces a little bit better. It's smart, the layout, even to the point of being able to fold up the bunk bed over here. There's only one bed, but you can fold that up, and on the underside of it, they've got some additional stickers that have been placed, so you see the December calendar there, and also a plaque showing that the station's Dalmatian has won an award, and it looks like that's the dog's bed down there in the corner, and there's a bone waiting for him or her. And yeah, this is, like I said, just a really, a very cheerful space. It just feels like it's done right. You also get access to the fire pole slide. This is a pearl gold colored flexible tube piece, so it is a little bit soft. I found it a little bit difficult to get some figure hands on there sometimes, but you can make it work and then just straighten it up. And the landing at the top and at the base features full tiling over, so no exposed studs there. Just kind of feels more complete that way. And then there's a door on the side. Obviously the back of the entire place is open, so you don't necessarily need this, but this is for the minifigures to use, and this is for you to use to get access here. There you see how the back of the fire engine, or the fire truck, the ladder truck, has to stick out the back of the garage. It's not that bad, honestly. Most of it is covered up. You can always have just a little bit of it sticking out towards the front instead. There's a little bit of a ramp there, but if you want to have it seem more correct from the back here. And there's more detailing in the interior down at the lower level. They've also tiled off the floor for consistency. You're not able to remove the level above, the floor above, that is structurally all linked together, so it's not intended to be removed, but you can still get good access into this space. For what space is available, you can put your figures in there, and yeah, it works out for its size. And this size and shape does feel very convenient to me. For folks who don't have a large space to display Lego, you can still put this onto just about any shelf, even just the most basic and small of shelves that are extended out directly from walls, not even a full bookcase or anything. Or if you have a narrow bookcase, it'll fit in there. Or if you have a larger scene, it'll still fit in. It has a good amount of depth, and it's not just rectangular. A lot of the smaller creator buildings tend to be like this, just a strip, and then you have a nice looking facade, but it's very thin. So this adds the extra thickness there, and I don't know, just feels very lively and believable to me. This truck looked very nice to me at first glance, especially the front 1/3 of it. I do have to say, the more I look at it, the more this area bugs me in here, just how blocky it gets. It would not have been particularly easy to fix that. There are ways to do it, but some compromises were made to make this very easy to build. You don't need to be an advanced builder to put any of this model together, and that includes the large building itself. There are some stickers used here. The fire hoses can be removed and used by themselves. There are a couple of tools added on to the back. They've got the very classic typeface used for the license plate on this one, and yeah, I think it just looks pretty good overall. Also, this ladder is able to be extended up, and the whole thing is on a turntable, so it can rotate around. It is a ratcheted turntable, so it's going to stay in place, won't just swing around wildly. The tires work perfectly fine. Everything is very loose and free, so you can definitely just roll this along, and it will hold at least 2 figures easily. You can probably have additional figures hanging off the sides as well. This is a small ice skating rink that can also double as a small pond in months when things aren't frozen over. And this just looks nice mostly because of the round shaping around the edges, with the use of the round tiles that are terraced up just a little bit, and also these gold flourish details are nice. I am sad that there's only one pair of ice skates included in this set though, so only one person can fully enjoy this at a time. They should have included a second set so that any other figure from this set could be used here as well to play against. The sculpture is pretty straightforward, pretty basic, no print on it or anything, but I think it looks pretty good. It's just commemorating firefighters, and I also think that this could be frozen live. This could actually be a water outlet. Kind of looking at this as a pond, this could have been a fountain installation, so when things aren't frozen over, you can just imagine that water is actually spraying out of there. The Christmas tree this time is built with layers of wedge plates around a 1x1 studs on all sides brick core, and it looks pretty good. It's pretty cheery, and it's very sizable. It's larger than a lot of ones that they've done as just small side builds that aren't the main featured attraction in these holiday sets. And there's a gift down below. Rather than using a print or a sticker, they just use a clip piece, 1x1 plate with modified plate with clip on top to represent a bow. And then there's another new style of build to represent a locomotive, steam locomotive toy. Not my favorite design there at all, but you could always use the roller skate pieces by themselves just on on figures, or you could convert those over to make a couple of cars or something. This looks pretty nice though. From every angle, it's fairly consistent. This is of course self-explanatory, just a park bench and a lamp setup. Looks perfectly fine for what it is, I think. The last builds in the set are a very small and basic ride-on car style toy and a small sled or toboggan, which can accommodate 2 figures just barely riding on it, and it also has an additional small built-up gift. I'm assuming the figure on the left is supposed to represent the fire chief, and he's just in full dress for some celebrations, and looks like he's gonna play the music as well. But you could always reassign that figure to be whomever you want, and any of the other figures could be the fire chief. It's entirely up to you. Those other 3 figures have suits that are inspired by old actual fire uniforms, and they take inspiration from the same place as the original style of classic fireman figure, one of the first ones that one of the first minifigures that Lego ever made, actually. Mine is not one of the first. I think the original ones actually had stickers rather than prints, but it's taking inspiration from the same place and just updating it with modern standards. These look pretty good. There are no alternate faces on any of the heads, but the set does include a full complement of fire helmets in the painted gold color, very, very shiny. Here are the 3 kids in the set, including the newest variation of Baby Fig, which is molded, the body is molded in the teal color that's been brought back just recently, and has a little winter argyle sweater style of design on the front of it. That's sure to be a very popular one. Got the scarf included there, once again from the Ninjago movie, and once again, no alternate faces to be seen here, but these are 3 good figures, with definitely the baby being the star. Last but certainly not least, this is intended to represent a Dalmatian, although it does use the body mold of a German Shepherd dog, but I don't think too many people will be too bugged by that. Dogs are cool, and I think this little toy dog is cool as well. Overall, I think this is a very charming set. I think that it does good justice to the Winter Village theme that LEGO has had going on for quite some time. If you don't want this within your existing Winter Village, if you have one started, if you don't want this to represent an active fire station, you could easily look at it as a heritage site or a converted fire station. You could change out the colors of these doors fairly easily. If that's a little bit too bright for you, just leave the flag down, and this could be somebody's house. You could turn it into a toy workshop. It definitely can serve different purposes within a Winter Village setting. But all the other stuff around the side I think is nice as well. The figures I think are done pretty well. I really just don't have much to complain about here. The worst thing is just the issue of value. The price to part ratio I think is very good, but there are quite a number of 1x1 pieces, including 1x1 plates and such, and modified 1x1 plates. As a result, the volume of stuff that you get, I hate to say this, and I really hate to say this, but to me personally, I don't feel like the volume of stuff that you get here in total feels that great relative to the price you have to pay for it. I don't feel like I get $100 US worth of stuff here. Objectively, price to part ratio, quality of the builds, that's all good. Some new colors and prints and such, wonderful. But I do wish this was more like an $80 set. I think that would make more sense just to my eyes. But that does it for my thoughts on this one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at this set, and I'll talk to you again as soon as I can.